Little ways down this trail, the person I was backpacking with is getting picked up by an Uber. It sounds pretty serious, but it's honestly not that bad. This is day 3 of our backpacking trip, and on day 1 he developed some pretty crazy blisters on his feet. We got to a pretty major trailhead and he decided to call it quit. So that leaves me alone. Right now I'm hiking the Pinhoti Trail in the Cheaha Wilderness. So far on the trip we've seen 5 people, 2 on day 1 and 3 today actually. I'm not a backpacker with fancy shoes or super lightweight equipment. This is actually my first backpacking trip. So this gear has been sitting in my basement for years. Finally got the chance to use it. And after 3 days doing it with someone else, I guess now is better time than never to do it alone. First day, we were hitting like 3 miles an hour pretty easily. But today I think we've averaged just below 2, just because of the foot situation. That leaves me with about an hour to get to my campsite, which is nearly 3 miles away. And you can see the sun is setting. I'm gonna shut up for a little bit, get to walking. So I didn't quite make it all 3 miles to camp, or at least the one that I wanted to camp at. It's getting pretty dark, and I stumbled upon this little campsite here. Nice flat ground and a fire circle with some seats. So it's a little closer to the trail than I would like, but seeing as how dark it is, I really don't have any choice. I'm also kind of low on water. I have enough to cook with and probably take a few sips after cooking, but worry about that in the morning. With the amount of water I have, there's no point in venturing off in the dark like this alone. I didn't really video anything of setting up the tent. It was honestly kind of sketched out by some noises I was hearing and the fact that it was getting so dark, but got everything set up and I got some dinner cooking. So I'll let you know if I survive the night. Well, update, I survived. Started to rain last night. I think it's going to continue to rain today. So I'm gonna get prepared for that, eat a little breakfast, and hopefully get on the trail and get this over with. I'm ready to be done. So I'm taking down the tent and got some thunder and lightning rolling in. But I've already taken down the rain fly and I've got my rain clothes on, so here we go. So we're committed to it now. Back on the trail now. You may not be able to tell, but it is pouring rain. But I'm just so ready to get out of here. I'm going through it. Got about a mile until the next water source, so I'm looking to fill up there. And then 9.1 miles to where my car is parked at Cheaha Trailhead. If the rain stops, I'll definitely go all the way up to the mountain. If not, I'm just, I may just put my pack in the car and then walk up or something. In between then and there, some pretty difficult sections. One specifically named Stairway to Heaven, which is some huge rock garden mixed in with a pretty steep climb, I guess. So we're gonna see how that goes in the rain. You know, there's been a pretty solid movement, as far as I understand, to include the Pinhoti as part of the Appalachian Trail. Now I'm only doing a small section of it, from Bulls Gap Trailhead to Cheaha Trailhead, but this place is pretty Appalachian to me. I'm also from around here, so I might be a little biased, but maybe now would be a good time to throw in a montage, some sort of all the things, all the best highlights we saw from days 1 through 3. Definitely not inclusive of all the best things we saw, but
I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I can hear you through the whine, and the Wichita lineman is still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that stretch down south won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line.
yeah, I definitely missed when it was sunny and you could see everything and not slip on stuff, but I think I've reached a little warm up to the stairway to heaven. Pretty cool little trail with the rock outcroppings. Definitely going up now. So I've been walking uphill for a pretty long time, but I think this could be the actual stairway to heaven here. Pretty massive rock garden, crazy cliffs up there, and I wish I could see this view, but have to find pictures of it or something. Maybe I'll come back. Probably not though. Approaching those crazy cliffs I was looking at down there. Check that out. I actually had to double back from the way that I originally went around that rock. I ended up on the left side instead of the right. One thing to know about the Cheaha Wilderness is that in any national wilderness site, trail markers are usually pretty sparse. And through a section like this, where you're going through a rock garden in the rain, it can be difficult to spot the trail at times. So I also fell from a rock and scraped up my leg a good bit, but I'm not even going to check. I'm just gonna keep pushing. Seriously, you spot the trail here. There's a marker in the distance, luckily, but otherwise I'm just going on some rocks. Really wish I could see the view from up here. This is still pretty cool though. I feel like I'm on another planet, honestly. It's pretty nuts. I think I've reached the top. The wind up here is crazy. Keep going, but Probably won't video as much from here on. My phone's getting pretty low. Probably only pull it out if anything notable happens. So I'll see you on the other side. Holy wind! Walking up on what seems to be a really good view of Cheaha in the distance there. Oh yeah. I'll be up there about 6.5 miles. For now, it's been a pretty easy walk after summiting whatever mountain that was there. Looks like we're going to have to do a pretty decent amount of uphill to get back up there though, so I'm going to focus on that for the time being. Not so far past where I last took a video, but just ran across this beautiful stream, and I think I'm going to refill my water here. The stream that was a mile away from camp was pretty dry, and the wet spots were pretty difficult to get to. So I was just gonna say screw it, but this water looks so appetizing, for lack of a better word. So I'm gonna get filled up and continue on. Made it to the Cheaha Trailhead. This should have been about 5.5 miles away from where I got water, but I got lost. My phone died, and I ended up going a little further than the trail that offshoots back to the parking lot. Kind of just put my head down and started walking, to a fault, of course. And once I realized it, I just pushed on to the road here and walked back. Just punching in here because I totally forgot to mention the reason my phone died was because I stayed up and watched the newest Severance episode, which ended up being a complete waste of time because it was just a filler episode about Miss Cobell. I wish I could find a way to spin this positively, but I really can't. I'm a little annoyed because it added about 4.5 miles to my trip. I was so excited to be done, and it's honestly comical looking at the map now how close I was to the trailhead. And I just kept pushing. So at this point, I think I'm going to just drive up to the top of the mountain. I planned on just walking up there to say that I did, but I still like to go see the highest point in Alabama, so. I do want to end the video on a more positive note, so first of all, here's me driving down Highway 281 and a cool view of whatever mountain this is. I'm sure I was up there. I had a great time. The ending kind of sucked, but can't have 100% good days, especially roughing it out in the woods. Like, just things happen. Just glad that I did it. It was fun. Don't know if I'll ever do it by myself again though. Yeah, those are just kind of my exit thoughts. If you you like this video, feel free to give it a like. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.